Douglas Cooling and Heating, serving the Birmingham area for 38 years. 988-3706. That's Douglas.
I'm James Spann. This is the afternoon edition of the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Wednesday, the 10th of August. Alabama kind of bisected today with a boundary that separates dry air over north and east Alabama from moist air over west Alabama, and that boundary is surfing up some pretty decent storms this afternoon. We'll go to some of the sky cam shots around the network this afternoon. First off, the view coming from Tuscaloosa. Pretty ominous clouds there. We're looking east from the top of the Tuscaloosa County Courthouse. In fact, that image was sent in by one of our viewers. Pretty good rain shaft there in Northport with a thunderstorm coming through the cities there within the past 30 minutes or so. Head down south, there's the Auburn sky cam looking at the campus of Auburn University. The sky there partially sunny. And way down south, the Gulf of Mexico. That's the view coming from the Phoenix All Suites looking off to the east. And the sky down there partly sunny. Well, the heat ridge is being beaten down. That's a good news. That's certainly good news for the folks in Oklahoma. And we've got a dying MCS that is beginning to kick off new thunderstorms over west Alabama on the southern edge of the westerlies. And there's a look at the radar at 2:27, and at that point there was a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Pickens and Greene counties for that big cluster coming across northern Greene. And you can pretty much pick out your boundary by looking at that radar image, and the boundary is basically US 82. South of US 82, along and south of there, we'll have the chance of showers and storms. North of there, no rain. Birmingham, Anniston, Gadsden, Huntsville, Jasper, Cullman, places like that. And I think that will hold for the rest of the afternoon. Guys at SPC put out that mesoscale discussion over that thunderstorm complex developing there, considering maybe a severe thunderstorm watch. I doubt if that's needed, but clearly that will be the zone where you'll see the active storms today. And again, that's just along and south of US 82 from near Tuscaloosa, Utah, and Livingston down to Fort Deposit and Montgomery. Temperatures are pretty warm, mostly low and mid-90s. But again, the dew points are noticeably lower over the northeast counties of the state, so the humidity level is certainly not that bad. And around the nation, again, look at the cool air dropping south. That's pretty impressive. You got readings only in the 70s down into far northwest Arkansas, where just a few days ago they had, 114 degrees. That's a big drop. And look at the gradient over Oklahoma. Remarkable. Still hot in Texas, but even there, I think the worst of the heat is behind them now for the summer of 2011 that has been so hot for them. Watch warning map. Goodness, nothing happening. See a few, 5 dots out there, and those are counties under severe thunderstorm warnings, and 2 of those are in Alabama. That's the Pickens and Greene warning. SPC has a slight risk for that convective mass, and again, that thing is way overdrawn there. It's going to be in a very narrow area south of US 82, as we've discussed. Tomorrow, got the standard risk of severe weather from near the Mississippi Delta up across the western high plains, and on day 3, which is Friday, slight risk of severe weather, again from roughly Memphis back up across the nation's heartland. Hey, look at that rain over Arkansas. This is the expected rain for the next 5 days, valid through Monday morning at 7 o'clock. 5.5 inches over North Arkansas. How about that? And around here, it's suggesting rainfall amounts of about 1 inch. And sounds about right. We'll inevitably have a round of storms at some point this weekend in advance of a pretty good front. In the tropics, the old circle guys have 3 of them drawn today. One is what's left of Emily moving up in the North Atlantic. That, of course, is no concern. They've drawn a circle around that disturbance east of Florida. And that's not really a concern if anything were to form there. The one maybe worth watching is the one that's off in the eastern Atlantic, just to the southwest of the Cape Verde Islands. And we'll check the modeling on that in just a moment. But hey, let's don't forget now, we've got some unsettled weather in the northeastern Gulf. But again, with a upper air pattern as it is, that will not pose any issues. That is not organized. That is not a tropical storm. There is modeling on Invest 92. That's the one just southwest of the Cape Verde Islands. And again, that all the models identify that and move it to a pretty high latitude in 5 days, well to the north of the Leeward Islands. And traditionally, when they get that high in latitude, the hurricanes are not a problem for the United States. They recurve into the open Atlantic, and with a mean trough expected to be over the eastern U.S. early next week. If anything forms out there, it should not be an issue for the United States at first glance. Of course, we'll keep an eye on that, as we always do. Check the modeling. This is the 12Z GFS, valid at 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. And again, the westerlies are dipping a little farther south. We've got a northwest flow aloft, and again, the model continues to suggest there will be sufficient moisture for some risk of a thunderstorm tomorrow afternoon. So we'll mention that. Mixtures, clouds, and sunshine, a typical chance of scattered afternoon storms. But again, Friday continues to look pretty dry based on modeling here. Showing very little in the way of convection. We'll mention just a slight chance of a shower Friday, but it looks like most locations will be dry with highs in the low to mid-90s. Saturday, as we kick off the weekend, pretty good-looking wave coming down through Missouri and Iowa, and that's going to kick up a lot of convection north of the state. And, some of that could work in here Saturday night. Again, timing the rain over the weekend is very hard. In fact, it's impossible to do this far in advance. We might see a shower or storm Saturday afternoon. It might be the better chance could be Saturday night or Sunday. There's a look at Sunday. That's when a surface front comes in here. So we'll mention that in the forecast. And then Monday of next week, look at that big trough over the eastern United States. That is a fall-like pattern almost. And down below that, a nice dry continental air mass drops in here. Highs probably in the upper 80s, lows in the 60s. And there's Tuesday, and we wonder if we might even see some upper 50s for the far northeastern counties of the state, those cooler pockets up there. And then Wednesday, a week from today, the moisture begins to come back, so we'll probably bring back the chance of scattered showers and storms. We all know intrusions of dry continental air do not last long in August in Alabama. All right, we'll go out there a few more days. How about the 20th? Ooh, a little tropical action in the Atlantic. But again, that's your classic recurving path there. That inevitably, if that does develop, and that could be the area now that's near the Cape Verde Islands, and as we talked about, that's kind of high in latitude, and more than likely that's going to be shunted northeast out to sea. And again, we just wonder if these early season systems are telling us something. This might be the year where we're going to have a lot of those recurving storms out there, or if anybody's threatened, it might be the east coast of the United States instead of the Gulf Coast. We'll see. Into the forecast on the 26th of August. Goodness, look at the 594 ring over New Jersey. That's kind of an anomalous look there, and that's right. It's going to heat up over the east, and again, a weak easterly flow below that, and that just looks kind of hot and steamy with the standard chance of scattered afternoon storms, if that's right. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes on the blog. The next video here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And if you're local to us, we invite you to watch us on television this evening, ABC 3340 in Birmingham at 5, 6, and 10. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful evening, and God bless.
Thank you for trusting us to be your #1 source for news
in all of Central Alabama.
in back-to-back ratings periods.
More people watched ABC 3340
than any other station in Birmingham.